coming from a mile away. My pulse starts racing from the words that you say. And you say so many other like you don't have a clue. And it's time to deliver with the stand up. You don't have to try too hard. You already have my heart. You don't gotta think to prove. I'm already into you. So hold me tight now. 'Cause I'm so good to know. Don't say it like you know. You had me at home. You had me at home. You had me at home. Don't say it like you know. You had me at home. So I'm like, oh baby, don't say a word. 'Cause you ain't saying nothing I ain't already heard. 'Cause all the words are buried in the beat so loud. And the speakers blowing up to this damn song. You don't have to try too hard. You already have my heart. You don't gotta take to prove. I'm already into you. So hold me tight now. 'Cause I'm so good to know. Don't say it like you know. You had me at home. You had me at home. You had me at home. Don't say it like you know. You had me at home. You already have my heart. You don't got things to prove. I'm already into you. So hold me tight now. 'Cause I'm so good to know. Don't say it like you know. You had me at home. You had me at home. You had me at home. Don't say it like you know. You had me at home. Now, I'm ready.
Okay, it's ready.
What cats go bowling?
What?
Alley cats.
What's another joke?
What are cat's favorite colors? Purple.
Why?
Why did the cat run away from the tree? Because of its bark. Go! Whoa!
And my talents are where my passions are. My writing, and in my garden, there you'll find my talents. As I read, I want to take you with me, and you can see my passions, and you can see where God feeds me every day. Can we let us get it right? This time, can we work through the hate and jealous and despising judgments of others who are different from ourselves? We don't like ones different, who look different, who believe different, who live different. Yet this struggles with what Jesus has given us to live and thrive and joy in. love one another as yourself. I truly feel where he intends is not to love others as much as we love ourselves, our beliefs, our lives, but to love others as they are ourselves. Stop and reflect that. Then how can we, when we put ourselves as ones of others, how can we treat others with such anger and judgment and hurt? Look upon it all sides, all peoples. How would you feel if you had a life as some others may have? Can we let us get it right? I can't help but ponder, is God giving us a chance to? Can we let?
The Walrus and the Carpenter by Lewis Carroll. The sun was shining on the sea, shining with all its might. It did its very best to make the billows smooth and bright, and this was odd because it was the middle of the night. The moon was shining sulkily because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. It's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil the fun. The sea was wet as wet could be. The sands were dry as dry. You could not see a cloud because no clouds were in the sky. No birds were flying overhead. There were no birds to fly. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If this were only swept away, they said, it would be grand. If seven maids with 7 mops swept it for half a year, do you suppose, the walrus said, that they could get it clear?
I doubt it,
said the carpenter, and shed a bitter tear. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us, the walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach. We cannot do it more than 4 to give a hand to each. The eldest oyster looked at him, but never a word he said. The eldest oyster winked his eye and shook his heavy head, meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster bed. But 4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their shoes were washed, their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd, because, they hadn't any feet. 4 other oysters followed them, and yet another 4. And thick and fast they came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore. The walrus and the carpenter walked on a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock. conveniently low. And all the little oysters stood and waited in a row. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings.
But wait a bit.
The oysters cried, before we have our chat, for some of us are out of breath and all of us are fat.
No hurry,
said the carpenter. They thanked him much for that. A loaf of bread, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed. Now, if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do. The night is fine, the walrus said. Do you admire the view? It was so kind of you to come, and you were very nice. The carpenter said nothing but,
cut us another slice. I wish you were not quite so deaf. I've had to ask you twice.
It seems a shame, the walrus said, to play them such a trick, after we've brought them out so far and made them trot so quick. The carpenter said nothing but,
the butter's spread too thick.
I weep for you, the walrus said. I deeply sympathize. With sobs and tears, he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes.
Oh, oysters,
said the carpenter.
You've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again?
But the answer came there none, and this was scarcely odd because they'd eaten every one. The end.
All right, hold on. All right.
This is my garden. I really like the way it looks, but it's a lot of work. And this is what I have to do to keep it clean. Get the grass out.
Patriotic wreath, I'm almost finished. Zoe, here's your treat. Okay, and here we go. And ta-da! Okay.